Samantha Lacroix from eXp Realty. I just wanted to do a quick video today. If you are a new home buyer, or maybe you're just needing a little bit of a refresher because it's been a while since you purchased a property, I'd love to give you a little bit of insight on the process from the buying side. So if you are a buyer looking to buy a property, one of the main things that you should know is that you're not going to be paying your buyer's agent. Now, the real estate professional that you're working with is actually going to get paid by the seller. So the seller pays out of their portion for the seller's agent as well as the buyer's agent. So there's no cash coming out of your pocket to pay for your agent in order to work on the buy side. So you've been out with your agent, you've looked at as many houses as you want to look at, and you've found the one. Now what? What are the next steps in this process? Now I'm just going to speak for myself as a buyer's agent to kind of go through the process with you as if we were working together. So after you decide perfect house for you, you decide you want to make an offer on this, we're going to collaborate together to put together the best deal for both you and to make sure that the sellers are going to be able to work with us. The main focuses in the negotiation are obviously going to be price. They're going to be dates. So those are dates for possession, could be dates for completion as well. In addition to that, we're going to decide the amount of subjects. So those might include financing. They might be subject to inspection, subject to insurance, subject to septic inspection, depending if it's a rural property or not. And then that's also going to include the timeline for those. So whether you're going to might have no subjects, you might have a week for subjects, you might have 2 weeks for subjects. 3 weeks is usually the maximum, but obviously it's going to really depend on the property. Sometimes with bare land, it might be a little bit longer because you're going to have to find out some more things, say about well or septic or how to get services to the lot. And then the other main point of negotiation is going to be the deposit amount. Now that deposit is going to either be due on subject removal or upon acceptance. And so that will usually be within 1 to 2 business days, sometimes a little bit longer. And essentially that deposit is going to be your guarantee to the seller that you're going to go through with the deal. In some centers, they request or require up to 10% deposit. On Vancouver Island, fortunately, we can get away with a little bit less, but generally anywhere between $5,000 and $20,000 would be an acceptable deposit. Now, of course, if you're in a multiple offer situation, any of these subjects or these negotiation focuses might change. You might want to tighten them up. You might want to make them have less subjects or have a shorter subject period. You might want to have more deposit. Obviously, price is going to be part of that as well. We would chat about all of those things if it is going to be a multiple offer situation, or if maybe the house has been on the market for 1 or 2 months, you might have a little bit more negotiation power. But those are all things that we would chat about together and decide what makes the most sense to get the ideal situation for you, which is to get the property. Now, some buyers would think that the price is really the most important part of the offer, but really any of those things can change the seller's mind. So maybe the house has been vacant, so they're going to want shorter possession dates. That actually might be more of an intriguing offer than, say, a little bit more money. Having a shorter timeline for the subjects also could be something that the sellers are looking for. So once we sorted out all of these negotiation points, we're going to put together an offer. Fortunately, in this day and age, even if you live outside of Port Alberni, we can do all of that electronically. We can get all of your signatures in, and you don't even need to be here. Though if you want to be, I'm happy to do that as well, and I can bring you over a coffee. Now, part of the offer as well is going to be the timeline that the offer is open until. So we put an expiry date on that offer. Once we put it all together, you're going to sign it, initial, and then I'm going to get it back from you and we're going to send it off. So once the sellers have received our offer, they essentially have 3 options. They can either say yes. So they can just straight up, without any changes, say absolutely yes to your offer. They can say no. They can absolutely just turn it down and need no counter offer and just say no to the offer. At that point, generally you get the option to resubmit. So if they say no, we can reevaluate, we can resubmit the offer. Sometimes this happens in situations where a property is listed for a long time and maybe you want to kind of put in a lowball offer. They might say no. Then you can reevaluate, maybe come up a little bit closer to the asking price and see if you can get a negotiation going. So then the third option is that they can counter back. So they can make any changes they want. Maybe they'll counter back on price. Maybe they want to change the possession dates so that they work better for them. And if they counter back, then essentially you have those 3 options now. You can either say yes, you can say no, or we can counter back again. And if they say yes to either your counter offer or your offer, then congratulations, you have an accepted offer. Now, once you have an accepted offer, this is where all the fun stuff happens. we get to satisfy those subjects. So let's use a full 2-week subject removal as an example. Say you have financing, insurance, and inspection in those 2 weeks, and you have to satisfy those conditions within that time. At this point in time, the sellers can't accept any other offers other than yours unless it would be a backup offer. And that backup offer has to wait until either you've satisfied your conditions or you've collapsed the offer. So with the inspections, you'll likely have a home inspection, and that home inspector would come over. They come to the house for a couple hours, they go through the house, and then you would have the ability to read a report from them and then decide from there if the items on there are satisfactory to you. Another major one, it's financing. So you're going to send all your documents over to your mortgage broker. They're going to have a look through, make sure that you can get an approval for the house. Another one in a, say, slower market might be subject to the sale. So maybe you need to sell your house first before you can buy something. So that could be a subject that's included as well, that the offer would be subject to the sale of your house. Generally, there's a little bit longer of a timeline on that, of course, but that's definitely something that could be included, and you can write an offer even though you haven't sold your house yet. The deposit is the other one. So essentially that deposit is going to sit in a trust account with my brokerage or whoever your buyer's brokerage is, and then it will stay there until either the deal goes through, or if you don't satisfy your subjects and you're going to collapse the offer, then that deposit's going to be returned to you. So the only case in which you would lose that deposit is if you decide you're going to satisfy all the subjects, you're going to sign off on the subject removal, house is sold legally, you change your mind after that. It's obviously not recommended because you could be subject to being sued. So yeah, just to summarize that, you put in the deposit. If your subjects don't end up going through, you're going to get that deposit back. And then once all those subjects are satisfied, you love it, everything's good, the inspection went great, your mortgage broker said everything's awesome, you can sign your subject removal, and that means that the house is officially pending. After the subject removal, all those documents and everything are going to get sent to the lawyers, along with the documentation from the mortgage broker for your paperwork. That's going to get sent over to them, and a couple weeks before your possession, you're going to go to the lawyer or the notary. You're going to sign all those documents. The only thing left is just to patiently wait until you can get your completion and your possession of your house. Now, I really hope that this was a quick and easy summarization of the process. Obviously, there's other things that can kind of go on in that process, but this was a super basic residential house sale buyer's process. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them for you, and I would love to work with you, so give me a shout.